I would now officially welcome you as the newest of more than 100,000 global alumni of Carnegie Mellon University. You have much to be proud of. Today is as much about looking ahead as it is looking back. As you anticipate your next endeavor, I would like to encourage you to do so, confident in the knowledge that CMU has equipped you for whatever comes next, and in ways that are totally unpredictable today that you might not even recognize. You already know that you've been deeply educated in your major field of study. Employers around the world tell us consistently that CMU graduates are exceptionally well prepared to contribute to their organizations from day one. You know how to conceptualize a complex problem, frame a novel interpretation, show extraordinary artistic talent, and work effectively on team. The content knowledge you acquired here will almost certainly require renewal, but the conceptual foundations you have established will allow you to continue to learn over the course of your lives. But I want to suggest that you have also been learning other lessons, both inside and outside the formal curriculum. You've been immersed in an environment that thrives on innovation, collaboration, collegiality, and a creative response to the unexpected. You learned to invent new things, to work with others on a club activity, a buggy team, on a community project. You learned to communicate with people who are different in background and style of working. These are critical skills for the future and the world where the momentum of innovation will only accelerate. None of us can predict how these threads will intertwine through our lives. Small moments can circle back in our lives in ways that are totally unforeseen. You cannot imagine them today. Let me give you a few examples. On the 24th of August, 1977, I took my maiden flight, traveled over several thousand miles, and landed in Ames, Iowa, for a graduate study in mechanical engineering at Iowa State University. A step that will permanently force me to speak with an Iowa accent. Within a few days of arriving, I turned on my first American TV. Most of you will not know what it was like. Small, vacuum tube, black and white. And what was on? The very first image I saw on my first American television was the image of Hawkeye Pierce from the sitcom MASH starring Alan Alda. At that moment, I would never, ever have believed that I would meet this world-famous actor or have the opportunity to discuss science literacy with him at the National Science Foundation, let alone award him an honorary degree right here at Carnegie Mellon University. Traveling to Iowa State University for me was only possible because I received a travel grant from a trust established by the Indian major industrial conglomerate Tatas. 2 years ago, on this very stage, Mr. Ratan Tata received an honorary degree, and I met him here at Carnegie Mellon University. How could I have ever known in 1977 that this will be the path I will take? None of us can predict the trajectory of our lives and careers. Carl Wyman, who grew up in rural Oregon, who received an honorary degree today, struggled to get even to a library close to the house that he lived in, which was 100 miles away. More than 50 of those miles were on unpaved roads. Winning a Nobel Prize in physics was not even in his universe of imagined possibilities. Yet, he did win a Nobel Prize in 2001 for his pioneering discoveries related to the Bose-Einstein condensate. Carl beautifully complements that profound accomplishment with the deep empathy he has today for students struggling to learn science. In 1967, right here on our own campus, a young undergraduate junior wrote a musical written by a fellow student, wrote a musical for Scotch and Soda, performed by fellow students. That was Stephen Schwartz. The show he called Pippin became a major sensation and remains one of the biggest Broadway hits of our time, nearly 50 years after its CMU premiere. I could tell similar stories about many of the people sitting behind me on the stage. Many of the people on whom we have bestowed honorary degrees. Life did not unfold according to any precise plan. But these success stories are built upon the ability to bring to each new circumstance one's individual strengths, purpose, passion, and principles. These are innovators able to pivot, parry, and adapt to the unexpected. And they responded as much from their hearts as from their heads. This will be true in your lives too, as the strands of your lives unfold and intertwine. Things will arise that you did not and could not predict or plan for. That's okay. Your generation has lived with almost non-stop change for your entire lives. You simply expect that new ideas, new tools, and new devices will emerge continually, and that long-established truths and practices could be and would be discarded. You are innovators on a scale unprecedented in human history. This is just normal life for you. This explosion of knowledge has come about, at least in part, because many disciplines are coming together more readily than ever before, abetted by technologies of discovery and new sources of data. The confluence of biology, behavioral sciences, and computation underpin advances in brain science. Progress in energy and sustainability requires engineers of every sort, plus economists, architects, designers, policy analysts, historians, and computer scientists. The fine and performing arts are continually engaged with science and technology, both as new expressive media and as sources of artistic themes and concerns. No matter what your field is, you have already come to appreciate the creative clash of disciplines. That is something that Carnegie Mellon is very well known for. As we look at the 21st century ahead of you, ahead of all of us, one of the most defining characteristics of the 21st century is the way in which technology impacts human condition. No other university can prepare its graduates at the intersections of technology and human condition as Carnegie Mellon can. Alan Alda has the rare and probably even unique distinction of being named for an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Tony, as well as a best-selling book, all in the same year. An incredible achievement. But with the expansion and interconnection of areas of inquiry, new and even more amazing possibilities will emerge. Someday, we could have the possibility that there will be somebody who is nominated for an Oscar, an Emmy, a Tony, the best-selling book, a Turing Award in computer science, and the Nobel Prize all in the same year. And that's likely to happen at Carnegie Mellon. The ability to respond productively to unanticipated outcomes, to be open to innovative ideas, and to grow your capacity to work across diverse fields with diverse others while keeping your hearts in the work and having your work come from your heart and connecting to the work that is in your hearts. These brought you here today. They will be even more important for your future, and I'm very confident that you are perfectly ready today. And we, your families, your professors, your mentors, and Carnegie Mellon University look forward to seeing the impact of the class of 2015 around the world. We want to support and celebrate you every step of your way. So my final request to you today is to stay in touch. Be connected with Carnegie Mellon University forever. Stay involved. Take advantage of the CMU alumni network. Connect to one another. If the 115-year history of Carnegie Mellon University is any indication, those of you sitting here receiving your degrees today will be movers, shakers, leaders, innovators, extraordinary artists, humanists, social scientists, designers. So there is a piece of practical advice. When you look to the person sitting in front of you, next to you, or behind you, remember, 20, 30 years from now, they'll be leaders. They'll have a lot of resources. Some of them may be your boss. Be nice to them. It'll come in handy. Keep in touch with them. Together with them, you will change the world. My warmest congratulations and best wishes to each and every one of you. Congratulations.